Well, good morning, everybody. Today is Monday, August 4th, and when I get to say good morning, it means that it was, in fact, a good morning. We had a lot of success out there in the ocean today, and I'm kind of glad because tomorrow is going to be a whole new day. This south wind is already starting to think about blowing. The air temperatures dropped quite a bit, and it feels like this little system might be moving in a day earlier than expected. I haven't checked the forecast yet, but Wednesday is supposed to be nasty south wind, which makes fishing here very difficult because of boat control. It usually empties out the estuary here that all the fish shoot up, and it's just cold and wet in August. That's not fun. So I'm kind of curious to see what happens. Wednesday is going to be rough. Tuesday, tomorrow, I don't know. Like I said, we're already getting a little bit of southwest wind here right now, and I'm even up here in Astoria where we're usually protected. Down by Hammond, you can be protected. As soon as you get downstream of Hammond or over on the Washington side, you get hit pretty hard with that south wind, so it really restricts the amount of water that we're able to fish. So today out in the ocean might have been our last one for a couple of days here, and then if we get back out there, you got to look all over again and try and find them, because that wind will shift the currents around, move the bait around, move the fish around. But what happened today? Well, went back out to where I found them yesterday, and it seemed like as soon as I got outside of 100 feet, 110, I could get away from the jellyfish. I was just north of the green line, pretty much between the green line and the lighthouse. Started in about 80 feet of water, but it was a lot of jellyfish. But as soon as I got out to about 100, 110, we got out of the jellyfish and started keeping our gear clean enough that we could catch them. They were definitely inside in that 60, 80 feet, but you can only keep your gear in the water for about, oh heck, I don't know, 5 minutes or less before you had to bring it up and check for jellyfish. So that really restricts your time in the water. Hooks are in the water, can't catch them. So we pushed outside just to try and get away from them. And once we did, we started doing pretty good. Now, the fish today seemed like they only wanted to bite going one direction, and that was west, going with the current. So we still had a little bit of river influence with the current pushing us offshore. And as soon as I tried to turn around on those fish and put a lot of throttle behind to keep the gear working, they would not come up and look at the gear. They would not engage. And so I had to pick up, run back inside to 100 foot, and then troll back out to about 150. It was really good fishing, plenty of wilds, short Chinook, no good Chinook today. I don't know where those Chinook are. They're still getting them up in Westport. So hopefully they'll be here soon. That next tide set that we have coming up, our tides are starting to grow right now, which means that hopefully when they peak out here in about 4 or 5 days, after that, when they start to fall again, that's usually when the Chinook come in, and hopefully that's our first real big push of Chinook coming in for this season. So as far as colors that work today, smoke jumper was really good the last couple days. Today it sucked. Didn't get a single one. Boo. So we had to change that one out. Let's see, what else? Misty River, of course, always does good. It's one of my best. And like I mentioned, those little YBC cut lugs are working really well. Almost better than the spinfish. In fact, I think probably better than the spinfish right now. But what I like about the spinfish and on these YBC cut plugs is that you can change up and alter your colors a little bit. So the one that was working well for us today was this guy. Let me show you real quick. And all I did was put a silver blue scale head on the back of this chartreuse and pink body. So we could just adjust our colors however we see fit. And what also was working too today was the fish would come up and look at the gear, but they wouldn't quite commit. They got a little lazy for about an hour. So what I did is I put on to the hoochie skirt some shrimp scent. Oh, I can't even see it anymore. Don't even say it. What about this other guy? Hey, look at that. There it is. Yep, there's that shrimp scent right there. And I put it onto the hoochie itself, not on the lure, just because it's easier to clean off the hoochie than it is the lure. And that seemed to help get the fish to react and bite a little bit better, commit a little more to the gear. Even though I stuffed this full of tuna and fish nip, throw a little bit of that shrimp on there too, onto the hoochie, or if you don't have a hoochie on there, just onto the lure itself, really seemed to make a difference. It truly did. Had a little bit of shrimp on there, a little bit of sweet scent. Heck, it's what they're eating out there already. All right, so. Yep, so what to do here the next couple days? I don't know. It could be tough fishing. And if it is, what I'll do is, there's not really much to report for catch race, because again, we might be inside the river here tomorrow and Wednesday, just trying to avoid that south wind, because south wind offshore can be really tough. Sometimes you can avoid the south wind on these ebb tides by going north, because that river will actually knock down the wind waves that are coming up out of the south. That current will come in and knock it down. So you might be able to get up there, but it's kind of a gamble, because if you get out there and that south wind's blowing hard enough, it makes for a very wet ride. It's not necessarily unsafe, it's just very wet, and fishing is supposed to be fun. We don't need to be out there puking, we don't need to be out there getting soaked. We try too hard and spend too much time, money, and effort, whether you're coming on a guided trip or bring your own boats down, to be down here and not be comfortable, not have a good time. So hopefully there's a few fish in the river. When I was coming back upstream from the ocean, I was really liking the water temperature. It was looking great. Right here, I'm sitting in front of the bridge on an incoming tide, and my water temp is looking excellent right now. I'm trying to watch my screen here to see if there's any fish coming in, but I'm trying to get prepared for tomorrow. Not really seeing much yet. They might actually be upstream. Yeah, they could be upstream. And actually tomorrow, see, this is where I'm torn. I don't know tomorrow if we're gonna be in the river, if I'm gonna go downstream and try and hit the first part of the push and fish down, say around like Buoy 20, or if I'm gonna be up here, because it's the first and second days of the growing tides, which, as I mentioned before, that is when I usually fish Tongue Point. But it's a little bit early. Oh, there it is, right there. There's Tongue Point right there. So I don't know if I'm gonna be up there or downriver. There's literally no one fishing in the river right now. I think everybody is on the same mindset. We got maybe one more day back out in the salt before we're all stuck here inside trying to hide from the south wind. So I don't know. Tomorrow's gonna be an interesting one. I'm gonna take a look at the forecast, make a decision with the crew. I got the same crew tomorrow, and man, that crew today, they were fishy. It was great. They were netting fish and knocking them out and bleeding them. That's why we were successful, because it was great team sport today. So I don't know. Tomorrow's gonna be a new one. And Wednesday is gonna be rough. We usually get 2 or 3 days a year like that where it's blowing that hard, and Wednesday is gonna be one of them. It's gonna be wet, windy, cold, and those fish don't like to bite too well on that. It makes for tough fishing, especially when it's a tougher tide, not many fish in the estuary. Oh boy, can't get out in the salt and get away from it. We're gonna have to work pretty hard on Wednesday, I think, but we'll see. Okay, well, heck, I might actually take a nap today. That's nice when you get done early like that. You know, you always want to give your customers a full day and try and showcase what the Pacific Northwest has to offer. Go sightseeing, do something else if you have a quick, easy day. But man, this south wind's starting to pick up already. It was starting to splash over the side of the boat, and it was time to just get in and just try and reassess, make a plan for tomorrow. And that's what I'm going to go do. Now, that might be a fish right there. Here, I'll show you my screen real quick. So what I'm looking for here is I'm looking at my water temperature, 68.4, and again, I run hot. I run about 2.5 degrees warmer than everybody else. So yours might say 66. I'm seeing a lot of scattered bait in here. Not really any fish. And I look over here at my active target, and I'm seeing a lot of bait. No tails kicking. No tails kicking. So even though I like that water temperature, yeah, that's not all that great. A lot of competition with all that bait. Oh boy, we'll see what happens here tomorrow. Wish me and the crew luck tomorrow, because oh, there's one right there he is. Look at him go. Well, maybe there's a fish or two around. Yep, we're gonna need luck tomorrow, so wish us luck. They had a great day today. We filled their freezer. Hopefully we can add a couple more tomorrow. See you guys in. Bring your rain gear if you're fishing next couple days. Later.